you want me? Have I put the wrong? Haven't I? But week 14, that should. What a dick. What up, fool? Oh, what? Oh, well.
Sounds all good as well.
Yeah, I swapped all that over. Oh, there we go. There's a test for you.
There's a test?
Yeah, your great big burp.
I already done it, that's why I whistled. That's why, yeah, if that was why I whistled, I was like, oh, hang on a sec, I haven't tested anything yet.
Right.
You know, the 1 week I don't test it is the 1 week you forget to put my sound in again.
Yeah, it's gonna be, mate. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I've gotten into the habit of doing it now, so I know that I need to do it. Which, obviously, oh, there we go. There's notification. Twitter. Not Twitter.
Twitch.
Twitch.
I did receive that as well. I don't know what happened to Gary Neville on my picture I sent you.
Yeah, I know. He sort of like done a runner, didn't he?
Which...
What was that noise then?
I might have forgot to turn the sound down on my phone.
Oh.
Oh. Why has it sent me that twice? My Pokemon's been dispatched.
Yeah, so you've got it as well, yeah?
Yeah.
We'll have to become Nintendo Switch friends.
Yeah. Fuck, where's Amazon? There.
And mine's been dispatched as well.
It sent me it twice, so I'm a bit worried it's got me ordering it twice, and I'm like, I don't have enough money to pay for it twice. Open. What's that?
I also don't have enough money to pay for it twice. To be honest, I don't have enough money to pay for it once, but. What else is that? Huh? Doing what, son? Currently at work, guys, so I've got you on with subtitles on. No worries, bro. Subtitles? You can get subtitles on?
Got you on with.
You can get subtitles on? That's crazy.
Does it pick up a...
Oh, hang on.
That's pretty cool.
I just realised that that's quite far away, so let's get that.
Hold on here. No, full screen, please. No, there we are. All right.
Oh, shit.
How does the subtitles work?
I have no idea.
I got annotations. Is that?
Yep. All right. I wonder what it's gonna do if you say shit.
Well, I can't. I don't know how to get it on here. So.
Oh, yeah. Fuck knows. Right. Anyway, let's crack a jack. So we are on week 15, the international break, number 3. I mean, I generally don't remember there being this many international breaks, but it's probably because we're doing this.
It says save every season. One in September, one in October, one in November, one in March or February.
So we ain't got another one now.
So
we ain't got another one now until March.
Or February. I can't remember which month it is.
Oh.
I think it's the start of March, end of February. Because end of February is the League Cup, so it must be out. It's after that, so
right.
It must be March.
So annoying.
League
I mean,
Cup
don't
finals.
get me wrong. You know, I'm all for the international football games and whatnot, but just interferes with my Premier League-ness. And it only gives us like a certain amount of people that we can talk to, because someone from Trinidad and Tobago obviously isn't going to want to listen to us talk about England.
Unless he likes England.
Or Wales, or...
No one likes Wales, so it's fine.
Oh. Can you believe that Welshie bagger packed Salah as well? Can you believe
You were a bit
it?
upset by that one.
Oh, to be fair, mate, he's put a lot of time and effort into the upgrade, so it's an untradeable Salah.
Alright. You were a bit upset when I packed Messi last year. I remember that.
Yeah, that was disgusting, Jakey, to be perfectly honest, mate.
I nearly had a fucking heart attack though, so it's all good.
It's disgusting. You with that and managing, you took the plunge and got Philippe Anderson's ones to watch card, literally on 86 value or whatever it was for 100k, and then went up through the roof to 280k or something stupid.
I think I got it less than 100k.
You done really well. I mean, I was literally inches away from buying it. I remember that.
I don't know why you didn't buy it. I still don't.
I still don't,
because you were
I actually told
you.
I'm sure I was saying to you, "Oh, I'm thinking about Philippe Anderson." You went on it and you're like, "Wow, his card's actually really good." And then you were like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna get it." And you got it, and for some reason I went off and didn't get it that day. And literally 2 days later, out comes
it's the next day. It was twice the price. And it was
inform card, and I was like, "Oh," and you're like, "Chew, did you get that card?" And I was like, "No."
And then his price was up through the roof, and then he just kept on getting inform cards after it.
He had about 4 in the end, didn't he?
Because he started off the game at 84, and I remember him playing at 87. I remember using him as 87. Remember that sick team I had, that fucking hybrid that I made?
That hybrid was sick, man. Kimpembe and...
what did I have? I had Shearer up top in the end.
Oh, no, Kai's not very well. What's up, Kai? Yeah, Shearer, yeah, because that was another one I was looking at getting as well, wasn't it?
I bought him because I thought he was. I bought him and then forgot that I had a fairly good strikers. And then I was like, what should I do? And I tried selling him, and no one would buy him, so I just ended up playing him, and he was sick.
I'm sure you can change foot to go to old.
Oh, I can. Yeah, there's probably a way to sign into it. But no, I had I had Van der Sar in goal. I had Sergi Roberto at right back, if I remember correctly.
Didn't you get didn't you get the flashback right back? Brazilian.
Oh,
fella.
I did. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, what was he called?
Danny
Alves. I didn't play him though because he didn't work for the team, and he wasn't actually.
Right.
I didn't like the flashback cards. They didn't really play well. He was really weak.
Oh, was he?
But no, I did have Sergio Roberto that was sick.
I'm sure the other day I was able to change this from FIFA 20 to an old one. I can't for the life of me remember. I'd love to know what he ended up on, mate. Seems like you had his ones to watch card. Let's put it in. See if we can find it. FIFA 19 cards. Images.
Yeah, whatever.
87.
League, Premier League. Nation. Is he Brazilian? He is, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh, have you got it up? Mate, it looks like he got all the way to an 88.
Yeah, he did.
So he must have had a team of the year or something. I don't know what that card is, from what I can see.
It was an inform.
Mate, he started as an 82.
I was playing with an 87. Jeez.
So he started as an 82, got a winter refresh by the looks of it to an 84, and then his first inform was 86, then an 87, then an 88. That's insane.
Mate, I fucking loved him as well. He was so good.
Mate, he was brilliant. Do you know what? He's very good again this year as well, as far as I'm aware. I don't even know what card that is. I think that might be his ones to watch card, actually. Yeah, it is his ones to watch card. Got up to an 88.
Yeah, that'll be in line with his highest inform.
Yeah. That's fucking... Oh, wait. I can see one here at 92. That can't be right.
I'll just close mine down now.
That can't be right. Okay, anyway, that's that.
We've already digressed and we haven't even started.
Yeah, we've already digressed onto Philippe Anderson and your amazing hybrid from last year. Did you sell Messi in the end?
Yeah, I sold Messi because he didn't fit.
Fair one, mate.
I got like 3 million, didn't I? Because I ended up buying that inform Kante.
It was ridiculous how much you got for that. Ridiculous. It's disgusting. Champions League Messi. I don't know who the main guy is on them at the moment. They haven't really brought out any like super top dogs, if you like, for the Champions League. I think I'm just looking to my right, mate, because I've got FIFA on. But it looks like Kante and Mane are the top ones at the moment. See, I'll tell you who is good this year as well. Is Son. Son's got a Champions League card at 88. Left wing Mane is an 89, and then Kante's CDM is a 90. Yours was a 91 though, wasn't it? You're in.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going, Flawless? Welcome to the stream. I don't know. I'm cold. I can't make myself any warmer. I have got 3 pairs of socks on, 1 t-shirt, 1 jumper, and 1 coat, 2 covers over me, and 1 trouser. Bloody hell, man! It sounds like literally my worst nightmare. I literally just could not. I just could not do that.
I love how it's like saying that we're both here in short sleeve t-shirts.
Yeah, I know. I just couldn't do. That would just be too much for me, man. Too much. Right. Anyway, without further ado, week 15, international break 3. Me and Jakey are both not happy about this, but anyway, here we go. We've tried to. Oh wow. Oh, Wixie. Hey, how's it going, Wixie? Long time no see on the Wixie. How you doing, bud? Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's all these first things? Never seen these before. Everyone's first.
Am I first?
No, you're a moderator.
Oh, am I?
Founder. What does founder mean? Wixie's a founder. What does that mean? What does that mean? Yeah, have you heard that song? Remember that coconut song? He's crazy as a nut. Crazier than a coconut. But what does that mean? That boy needs therapy. Just throwing it out there, Jakey. It looks like you have no idea what I'm on about.
I have absolutely no idea what you're on about.
Wixie.
Sounds like you're going a bit
How
mental.
are you, dude? Welcome, welcome, welcome. And thanks very much for the sub. Much appreciated. Subscribed at tiered 1. They've subscribed for 2 months. Currently on a 2-month streak. I don't know what this first is. Anyone, guys, any of you guys that are on Twitch more often than I have been recently, what does first mean?
Means we're important.
Yeah, but you ain't got one, Jakey, so does that mean you're not important?
Probably.
Okay. Right. So we have decided to pack the show out with little bits and pieces, you know, because we absolutely despise the international break when it comes to this show, because 1, there's not a hell of a lot of news about, and 2, we don't have any Premier League stuff to talk about, which is that. I mean, we're important. Well, yeah, you're important. It's to do with your subs. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up because that's new to me. That is new to me. Excuse me. Right. Next up. Oh look, he's got the Chewmojis going on there. Love the Chewmojis. Right. We decided to pack it up. So what we decided to do is we decided to make our best ever England 11. Now I do apologise for the pictures. For some reason, the picture that Jakey sent me was a lot wider than mine. It was very, very weird. I was like, why is his wider than mine? I don't understand what's going on here. It's very, very strange. So yeah, his is a bit wider than mine. Mine's obviously, and I've gone for like a nice black and gold number. You know, I had a feeling that Jakey would go white, and I didn't want to clash. So I know it's not
England.
Yeah, I know it's England, and this is
you could have gone with red.
No, I know. I know I could have gone with red, but I couldn't go with red because I just felt as though I needed to go with like a black and gold number. And I saw the kit and was like, you know what, I really like that kit. I'm going with it, and let's hope EA brings out a kit like that for me so I can get it on FIFA. Although they have got a Thursday Night Cup kit at the moment, which I might represent. You know what I'm saying? I mean, who wants to? What's Jakey's right back? I can't see it. Very valid point. It is Phil Neville. If it wasn't for Jakey like moving him halfway down the field, you'd still be able to see him flawless. But Jakey decided to like pretty much. Sorry, Gary Neville. My bad. Yeah,
I can't see
it either.
Not realised.
I can't see it either, if I'm honest, because obviously I'm using your head is literally over it on my screen as well. But yeah. I know it is Gary Neville.
Gary Neville.
Jake Neville ran backwards for some reason. He's got that defensive mind about him, hasn't he?
Yeah, we must have been defending on the right hand side there, and he was just coming back and covering.
Oh, you're getting slated already by Flawless. Flawless likes this. You can tell that Flawless likes something because he starts commenting like a madman. Flawless likes this idea.
I'm sure we'll get to that in a minute. What the reasons,
Right. So, all right, go on then, Jakey. Seems as though do you know what I was surprised about, guys? Right, is I'd pretty much done mine. I just hadn't filled in the fullbacks. And Jakey sent me a screenshot, and I was like, "Holy shit, Jakey, we've pretty much got the same here." And I literally screenshotted like my team without the fullbacks in, and sent it to him. It was like, yeah, there's pretty much exactly the same. So, there's not going to be a hell of a lot of difference of why we picked who we have and why, because pretty much we've picked the same guys. But if there is any discrepancies, like if you guys think that you'd pick somebody else. I also will tell you like a few that I was sort of like scratching my head with, like as if to say, shall I put him in or shall I put him in?
I did 7 substitutes as well, but
yeah, you did.
That wasn't necessary.
I cut them off, but I'm sure. But I knew that Jakey would talk about them, so I had to cut them off because his damn screenshot was too big.
And what else did I do? Oh, I did the manager as well.
Yeah, which was
Ramsey. I imagine the manager wouldn't be different anyway.
Yeah, mate, I'd have Ramsey all day long. I mean, he won the World Cup for shit's sake.
I was gonna say.
With an average team, let's be fair.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't like the best in the world, was it? Let's be fair at the time. It won the World Cup, don't get me wrong. It reminds me of like that Ferguson team that won the Premier League with like literally an average team at best.
The one who won it in his last season.
Yeah, and then fucked off because he was a sinking ship.
The same team that finished 8th. Nah, if he'd stayed the next season, I reckon he still would have been able to get him in the top 4 easily.
I agree with you 100%, mate.
Is that good?
He just had that way about him, didn't he, of managing people to get him through. Right, so go on then, Jakey. We'll let you go first and your reasons behind it. And then I shall pick up the slack, which isn't a hell of a lot of it.
Gordon Banks, he was known for being one of the best goalkeepers in the world at the time. And he was amazing for England.
Brilliant.
Made that the save that I always remember is the one against Pele. Pele turned around and started celebrating because he thought he'd scored. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't. I'm going to go and have a look.
See, and I believe he was our winning goalkeeper as well for the World Cup.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was.
Yeah, that's why I went for Banks. What about no dandruff, Joe Hart? I feel there's plenty of reasons not to pick Joe Hart.
Who said that? Let me come back. What about no dandruff, Joe Hart? Head and shoulders because he's worth it.
I'm surprised there's one other goalkeeper. So the goalkeeper I had on my bench was Peter Shilton.
Yeah.
And he is England's all-time record caps holder, which is why I had him on the bench. But I had Banks in first because he's really good. Are you saying what you've done, or am I going for my
will
team?
When I see this. Oh, he is angry.
So yeah, right back. I went with Gary Neville, as you can clearly see.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Let's face it, England haven't been blessed with the best fullbacks.
No, we haven't, to be fair.
So I didn't know who to pick, and I was like, Gary Neville's the only one I know, and then I was like, well, I might as well have a look to see if I can find any like the best fullbacks England's had. Let's face it, there was only 2 real candidates. One's Cohen that Chew's got there and is for right back. And the other one was Neville. Cohen was actually England's World Cup winning right back. He started the World Cup final. And then obviously Neville played for however many years.
That is an insane save.
Yeah, you see?
Mate, I reckon VAR gives that, though. I'm not sure if that's over the line, you know.
That wouldn't be VAR. That would be goal line technology.
Even.
In defence... It's Big Boots Phil Jones on that team. I feel like owing to the fact he hasn't even made 50 caps for England, he shouldn't be.
So yeah, my Seaman is just purely for the name.
You like the name Seaman?
Yeah, I like the name Seaman. I think it's worthy of an England mention any day. But yeah, no, I'd have to agree that Shilton and Banks are by far better than Seaman. Mr. Lob Central. But yeah, I wanted to write Seaman on our
Didn't
slides.
Seaman concede a corner from Macedonia?
I've no idea, probably. I know he got lobbed a couple of
I know he
times.
got
In
lobbed
Euro
by,
'96, he got
Ronaldinho
lobbed,
as
didn't he?
well.
Didn't he get lobbed in the Scotland game as well?
I couldn't tell you that, but I know he got lobbed against Brazil.
Yeah, he got lobbed against Brazil for sure. That was a quality goal though. Who was that? Ronaldinho, wasn't it?
Ronaldinho, yeah.
That was a ridiculous goal. Like literally,
World Cup.
it literally hardly looked like he hit it. And he was outside the 18-yard box, wasn't he?
He was like 30 odd yards.
Oh mate, it was ridiculous. He hardly looked like he hit it. Ridiculous.
Centre backs that I think there's only two real main candidates. I mean, there's a few that you could have: Campbell, Terry, that sort of players. But Ferdinand and Moore are probably.
I don't think that Campbell. I really like Campbell for obvious reasons, but
I don't think he was ever the best. He was always behind. He was always behind Terry and Ferdinand, wasn't he?
I think that he was probably unfortunate for being.
Oh, who was the Spurs centre back that was pretty good? Leslie King. He never played for England, but he was a quality centre back.
No, he never played. You're right.
I think he got about.
He got a cap.
That,
I was gonna say he got called up, didn't he, and got come off the bench, but he never started, did he?
But yeah,
Rio Ferdinand and Moore are surely the best two. I'm sure that most people.
The only England captain to lift the World Cup.
Well, it's because we've only won it once.
Exactly. And let's face it, he was a fucking amazing centre back.
He's brilliant. He was dirty, horrible bastard, but I love him.
Perfect. And obviously Ferdinand. I mean, his record sort of speaks for himself, really, doesn't it?
I think I'd be very surprised if there's many people that would pick anything different on those back two.
I can't. I must admit, I can't think.
Like Terry was good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's better than Moore or Ferdinand. Unless someone else can think of someone.
Well, I think Terry, you got to. I mean, I put him on my bench, but you can't really include him in defence with all the scandals and whatnot he had, including losing his captain's armband. So
Yeah, fair one.
Chris Smalling.
Flawless, you're having a joke, aren't you?
So I think I'm pretty certain every single one of the players that I picked has got over 50 caps.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted to make sure. Jack Charlton.
Jack Charlton's not a bad one. It's not a bad one.
I wanted to make sure every player I had's got at least 50 caps.
Jack Charlton's actually a very good shout, to be fair.
He was the other centre back during the World Cup, wasn't he?
I think it was Charlton or Moore, wasn't it? Does Charlton have a icon card? Curious.
Probably Bobby. Yeah, he was the other centre back during for the World Cup final. I love how we both did a 4-4-2 as well. The basic England formation.
Yeah, well, I did, mate, just purely because I think why fucking ruin shit? And to be fair, we've had so many good forwards throughout time.
Yeah.
That I think.
Well, I mean, you have to have a 4-4-2 if you're doing an England team of all time.
They complemented each other. What, in the showers? How does Ads know that? There isn't a Charlton.
They won the World Cup together, so
there isn't a Charlton on FIFA, No Charlton. I know Moore's on here.
Hang on, where the fuck is Akin Fenmore? I mean, you do sort of need to have a cap for England to get in an England 11, I feel.
Bobby Moore, 92 rated on here, he is.
He's a beast. Shithouse as well, but...
And there isn't any on the market. Brilliant.
I wonder why.
Well, none of his prime card, but I don't think they've brought out the prime cards yet, mate. You can get the one underneath. Right, his one underneath is shit. But hey, there we go. So Bobby Moore's on here. Defending 91 and physicality 83. Sums him up, right? His pace is terrible though.
Fair enough. Moore was the ball playing defender. Jack Charlton was the guy that would wipe you out if you got past Moore.
Yeah, fair one. And that probably says a lot, actually, to be fair. Adds due to the fact that Moore has an 81 passing for a defender.
let's
That
face
is
it,
ridiculous. He might as well play CDM.
If you got past Moore, you were doing a good job in the first place.
Yeah, fair one.
Some of the tackles that are sitting.
91 defense and 83 physicality. Yeah, you're doing all right, to be fair. But like Ad says, it's definitely there for his distribution. Yeah. I think like 81 passing. That's insane, isn't it? And that is his mid-range card, mate. So God knows what his prime card would be.
And then left back. I can't think of any left backs from England.
Graham Lasso's the only other one I can think of.
Let's face it, Ashley Cole was the best left back in the world at the time he was playing for England.
You got Graham Lasso. Wasn't Chris Waddle a left back?
I must have. I don't actually know which position he played. He must have been. But the one I was looking at, the other one was Ray Wilson, who played left back in the World Cup final, because I sort of looked at the team.
Yeah, fair one. I don't think there is anyone else though. I mean, Lasso was okay, but he wasn't brilliant.
Did he play much, Lasso?
Lasso played quite a bit. I'm sure he did. I'm trying to think who would have played in front of him. As in, like...
I always get Chris Waddle and Glenn Hoddle confused.
No, Hoddle's a centre midfielder, isn't he?
Yeah. I always got them confused because their names are so close.
Waddle, I'm sure he was either a left back or a centre back. I can't remember which one.
I just put... I was trying to put Chris Waddle position and not put Chris Waddle poo.
Oh. Did anything come up on eBay?
You look at you in the rain. It says winger/attacking midfielder.
What, Waddle?
Yeah, Chris Waddle.
I got that completely fucking wrong. There you go. Waddle so he played left mid. There you go. Wow. If he's a left mid, I probably would have been alright back in them days. Yeah, just saying.
But as I say, I couldn't think of many left backs, and obviously
Lasso's the only other one that I can think of.
Yeah. I just went back to the 1966 team just to see if I can pack out any other extra players, you know.
Lasso's the only other one that I can think of that's probably notable.
But my bench for the goalkeeper was Shilton, and my defence was Cohen and Terry.
Which is a fair bench, to be fair. I can't argue with that. I'd have Neville on the bench if it wasn't playing. So. Yeah, I think you're right there, mate. And obviously, like I say, Seaman's just my little mock-up because I don't believe that he. I mean, he was okay at penalties, got us out of a lot of trouble for Arsenal and England, but Chilton and Banks are the best two in there. Going into midfield then.
So in midfield, I'll start off the right-hand side. I think. It's the name on pretty much anyone's lips if you said a right midfielder for England.
To be fair, is there anyone else that you could pick?
Again, I didn't really think too much for it.
Well, I didn't either. I didn't go any further apart from the fact that, like, literally, do you know what, right, mate? The first name on that sheet was Beckham for me. Like, that was the first one I did. I was like, well, Beckham obviously right mid. That was literally what I did. I didn't even think about anyone else. I mean, I presume there probably is some.
And then obviously with how I was going on looking for I forgot what I was going to say then.
Beckham doesn't have an icon.
On the caps and whatnot, Beckham obviously is England's third highest cap player, as well as scoring that free kick against
Greece,
Argentina, and Greece. He scored against
Argentina.
I know he got sent off against them and then scored. I'm sure he scored against them the next time, but I can't.
I mean, the one that I remember was the Greece one.
The Greece one always comes up. You always see that.
That sent us through. That did. Well. At the point, it was 1-1, I believe, and we were going out. We weren't even going to make the qualifiers, but I'm pretty sure. Where's Eric Dyer? Do you know what? I didn't even think about Eric Dyer. What's the point?
It's funny that. Again, you know, the 50 caps sort of.
Jakey made his own rules up. I didn't get a 50 cap rule.
To be fair, I think every single player on yours has got over 50 caps. Maybe
Sterling's probably the only one that hasn't.
Sterling's got 53.
Oh, there you go.
Because I nearly put Sterling in and I was checking it.
All right.
Oh no, 55. Sorry. Who was that? Oh, I think there was only one player on my team that didn't get over 50 caps.
Injury run with Ledley King. Yep, Phil.
Yeah, there was only one player, and he was on my bench, and he got 49 caps.
Fair enough. Who was that?
Jeff Hurst.
Okay. Wait, did Shearer make your bench?
No.
What?
I couldn't fit him in. Jeff Hurst had to be.
What do you mean Jeff Hurst had to be?
I mean, he's the only player to score a hat-trick in a World Cup final.
How many goals did Shearer score for England? And failing that, you've got Sheringham in front of him, surely.
Shearer.
I love how you're looking it up because you've totally made a mistake there, right?
I must admit, he played more than I thought he did.
What, Shearer?
Yeah,
Mate, I don't see no icon card on FIFA with fucking Jeff Hurst.
He played so long. Jeff Hurst scored 24 goals in 49 games. Alan Shearer scored 30 in 63.
Right, so he's got
So Alan Shearer scored 6 more goals and he played, how many is that? 14 more games.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, well, that's Jakey's reasoning behind not having a Shearer. We're not onto forwards yet, though, Jakey. So we're up to Beckham.
You asked me about who's the player.
Yeah, I'm sorry, mate.
We've
Gone for Gerrard, yeah.
Well, Gerrard and Gascoigne.
Do you know what, mate? Right, the only one that I was really like, oh, should I put him in? Was Ince was another one.
Yeah. I thought about him. I thought about Lampard, and I really wanted to put Scholes in, but obviously Scholes retired earlier.
Scholes is another one, but
put more out on the left.
Yeah, I don't think he was used properly. Lampard, I think we always had the problem with fitting Lampard and Gerrard in the same team. So if we had Gerrard and Lampard, we'd be as bad as those managers that we've been moaning about through that era, because trying to play both of them was tricky.
Let's face it, if you've got Gascoigne in your team, he's just going to run through everyone anyway.
Yeah, I think Gascoigne had to be in there. Like I say, I was thinking touch and go with Ince. See, I think Will Wilkins was all right. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't think he was the best. I mean, Fat Platt's never going to make it, surely.
Yeah, but John Barnes as well. I could have thought
of. Barnes is another one. Yeah. In fact, Barnes probably over Ince, to be fair.
I didn't really check this too much, but I didn't realise David Seaman and Joe Hart both got capped more times than Gordon Banks.
Well, there you go.
Just so maybe information.
That's probably why. So he had more chance to get lobbed then.
Well, I mean, he only played 2 more games, so.
Oh, right, okay. Should have gone 4-3-1-2 and get Scholes in the middle and Charlton in behind. Front 2.
Scholes didn't really play too much for England.
Scholes is a great player. I think you'd probably have Gascoigne as an attacking midfielder anyway, wouldn't you? If you're going to have either of those two.
If you're going to play, what formation did you say? 4-3-1-2. If you're having that one, you probably have Charlton in there.
Yeah, which is, I think is what. Yeah.
I just squeezed him in on the left because I couldn't think of. I couldn't think of any left wingers. Well, I mean, Sterling was the Sterling was the one I was thinking of, but Bobby Charlton, second highest goal scorer.
I went with Sterling just purely because I mean, he wasn't the best through the World Cup. Don't get me wrong, but I think he has the potential to potentially be probably one of England's all-time.
Give it 5 years, Sterling will be in there anyway.
I think he'll be like one of England's all-time left midfielders. Or left wingers this day and age, but it's the same shit, different shovel, innit? In my opinion, I think Sterling's a fantastic player, and he's got a lot of years ahead of him. As long as he stops fighting people, anyway.
Where's the picture I took?
Should have gone for 3-2-1. Banks lost an eye in a car accident, but still played top flight football for many years.
You come back into my life.
Oh, let's show that because otherwise it's going to be confused. Scholes only retired because of the left mid bullshit.
Because he was squeezed in.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not being funny, right? But never do I think, oh yeah, Scholes left midfielder.
I think it's because they wanted to play. Obviously, you got 3 of the best centre midfielders in the world: Scholes,
Lampard, and Gerrard.
But if you want one out on the wing that's going to deliver a pinpoint ball in the box, you're going to have Scholes, which is the problem. But he's such a meathead tackler and everything.
He by far. But to be fair to Sterling, Gomez was acting like a big man. Do you know what, Flawless? I don't know anything about it. I've not even really. All I know is like what's been reported. I've not gone and looked yet to see what the fracas or ruckus was about, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what's happened on the training ground. Didn't bother reading into it. Obviously, we've got the next slide to come, so we'll talk about it a bit more there. Who am I looking for here? Why has Gascoigne not got an icon card? What's that all about? No Gascoigne.
I suppose it's possibly because
he's a naughty bastard and a rapist.
Yeah, might be to do with that.
Yeah, fair one. Scholes is on here though. I come up against a guy playing with Scholes the other day, and I tell you what, it really upset me. I've got to say it really upset me. Right, so it looks like most of the prime cards still ain't on here, Jakey. So
Adam's just put the way each manager stuck 4-4-2 with, as you say, 3 of the best centre midfielders in the world. Imagine if they had the
if they had gone like a 4-3-3, that'd have been ridiculous. Because
imagine that if they played that and they played with them 3 in the middle, played with an attacking midfielder, and then played 2 up top in front of them, you would have been fucking smashing it. Because let's face it, we weren't blessed with the best wingers at that time.
How has Scholes' 89 card got 64 defence? He was all about defence. Defending and shooting with Scholes.
Let's face it, Scholes was more all about 2-footing someone and getting away with it.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, I don't know what his prime card would be like, but tell you what, mate, I think it was an 89 card that was against me the other day, and it absolutely ruined me. And do you know what, right? It reminded me, I got a little bit of deja vu, because last year I went up against the Scholes, and guess what? Fucking ruined me last year as well. That's twice now I've had someone with a Scholes card, and it's absolutely ruined me. I'd tell you what, I'd like to get him. I'd like to get him on FIFA, I think.
So on the bench for midfield, I actually had Stanley Matthews. I must admit, I wasn't too much sure how much he'd done for England. I just knew he was a quality player and played till he was like 50. And then I had Frank Lampard.
But no Scholes.
No Scholes.
I think it's hard, isn't it?
It's hard to put Scholes in when he was.
Didn't Barnsley play left midfield at points? Sure, Barnes played left midfield at times.
I think he did, but that was just before Scholes, I suppose, wasn't it? Scholes, Lampard, and Gerrard.
Probably, mate. Yeah. John Barnes.
I'm pretty certain he was a left midfielder, wasn't he? Barnes?
I'm sure. Do you know? Now I think about it more, mate. I think he was.
He definitely played midfield.
I'm gonna keep this.
Oh, fuck off, mate. He's on FIFA, so I'm just checking now, mate.
Your work is safe.
Yeah, they've got him as a left midfielder, mate.
But I think he was just before, just as
Brilliant
Scholes coming to the team, and that was way before Lampard and Gerrard, I suppose.
Hoddle and Waddle were also out there. Barnes was brilliant. I really liked Barnes. I did. I'm almost certain he moved into central midfield like a bit later on in his career. I don't know how old he is here on this 87 rated card.
The other midfielder you could have had maybe was Brian Robson.
Yeah, Brian Robson. Yeah. Well, Barnes had 79 appearances for England.
79 appearances. Yeah, scored 11.
11.
Yeah, his last appearance for England was 95. Lampard's first was 99. Gerrard's first was 2000. Let's see if I can find the scores in here. Teddy Sheringham when he got 51 caps.
Right.
Just
It's more
as
than
scroll by.
Hurst, isn't it? Oh no, Hurst got 59. You said, didn't you?
No, Hurst got 49, so it was only 2 more than Hurst.
Hoddle, because like Scholes, he didn't know what to do with a technically gifted central midfielder.
In the morning.
Yeah, because I'm sure Hoddle was. Yeah, very odd. Showcasing great speed and skill on the left wing, Barnes' reputation catapulted during 5 successful seasons at Watford, where he led them to a second-place league finish and an FA Cup final before transferring to Liverpool for 900,000. God, could you imagine having a player like Barnes going for 900,000 in this day and age? Jesus.
How is it?
Oh, how the fuck have you done that?
Scored 108 goals for Liverpool, Barnes did. 407 appearances. I don't like his hair in this 87 rated car.
Hoddle, because like Scholes, we didn't know what to do technically if it's centre midfield.
Scholes
Hoddle tore
brilliant, isn't
teams apart on his own across Europe in centre midfield. Yeah, England can get the best
Because
out of him.
Didn't Hoddle play abroad?
He played
Didn't
quite
he
a
play
bit.
Didn't he play in Italy?
Each other on and off. I was younger.
There's no Hoddle on FIFA.
Leave.
Uh,
Here, I was there.
I can't check him out.
He played for Monaco,
Monaco, was it? Okay.
Tottenham and Monaco. Played for Swindon and Chelsea as well.
I knew he played for Chelsea because he managed Chelsea, didn't he, for a bit?
He was player manager for Swindon and Chelsea.
Ah. Icon profile. Spent 20 years at United, Scholes did.
That I spent my whole life
Yeah.
trying not
His first cap for England was 97 as well.
to somehow.
66 appearances with 14 goals for England. Love to see his 91 rated card. It's a good card. He did play in Italy, France, and I believe Spain. So I
Only got him
reckon
playing
they've only got him playing in 2 places, have they?
Tottenham, Monaco, Swindon, Chelsea.
Oh, that's weird. I'm with that. I could have sworn he played in Italy. I don't know who for. I want to say Sampdoria or someone like that. You know, one of the bigger teams back in that era. Oh well.
We're talking about Glenn Hoddle, right?
Oh wait, are we on about Glenn Hoddle? Yeah.
That's what I thought you were. Who are you talking about?
Yeah, Glenn Hoddle. Mate.
Yeah, that's all he played for.
Oh, fair enough.
Played 377 times for Tottenham.
Oh, there you go. There you have it. Thought you played abroad more than that, but hey ho.
I did.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, I could have sworn he played in Italy. Oh well. Little do I know he didn't. Right, now we get on to the strikers, because there's obviously going to be a little bit of controversy here, Jakey. Don't you shake your head like that.
Well, let's start with the easy one. Wayne Rooney is England's all-time highest goal scorer. So
do you know, I honestly didn't have Wayne Rooney in there at the start.
You know,
I didn't, but then I was like, hang on a minute, Chewy, what are you on about? You've forgotten about Wayne Rooney. I actually forgot about it, mate. I was like, hang on a minute, you forgot about Wayne Rooney, Chewy. So then Wayne Rooney quickly got put in there. I actually had Owen where Rooney is. And then was like, hang on a minute, Chewy. You've forgotten about Rooney. Owen, fuck off. And in came Wayne Rooney. Now, I'd have to agree with your Gary Lineker, mate. I think that's a great pick. I still think
the reason
Shearer
for
over
having
Lineker.
Gary Lineker in there was, I believe, he's England's all-time highest scorer at World Cups, something like that.
Mate, he had some great World Cups, to be fair.
You haven't been back in 20 years?
Oh,
Why
you
not?
can fuck off a bit, mean. And then I had Jeff Hurst and Michael Owen on the bench, which is why I didn't have Shearer in.
Gary Lineker's a shout. I also think Sheringham's a shout, especially the Sheringham Shearer era. I think those two are fucking brilliant. I thought they were particularly good against Germany. Remember when we beat them 5-1 out in Munich? I thought those two were brilliant in that game.
I can't remember it, but I know we did.
Well,
Was
there's
it
a recent
2000?
there's a recent one, mate, as well, where we won 5-1, I think. But I'm talking about the latter one, the
Was
later
that
one.
2000 or was it?
Yeah, because Shearer and Sheringham would have still been playing in 2000, wouldn't they? So it must be that one, mate.
Sheringham.
Who won the World Cup?
Yeah. Who won the World Cup?
Lineker, apparently.
What?
Lineker won the World Cup. Ads? You're on crack.
Lineker won the World Cup Golden Boot.
Oh, gotcha. I've read that
no,
completely wrong.
Forgot Owen in his prime won the World Cup Golden Boot also. Or maybe he was talking about Owen that won the Golden Boot.
Nah, he didn't win the Golden Boot, did he? No, yeah, there you go. He says that's Lineker. Look. If you take Shearer, you need to partner him with Sheringham. That's exactly right, Ads. I got to agree with that, mate. I think Shinniker?
You're making up players to squeeze them all in.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
Let's have a Shinniker and a Rue Owen.
We've named 6 strikers that could easily get in.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
Who've we named? So we've named Shearer, Rooney, Owen,
Shearer, Rooney, Owen,
Sheringham,
Sheringham, and I said Jeff Hurst as well.
and Jeff Hurst.
And then if you wanted to go on that, you could also go with, is it Jimmy Greaves?
Greaves was a good player.
He scored like 44 goals in like 50 games or something stupid like that.
I mean, for records of goals to games, mate, you could even put Crouch in there, couldn't you?
Jimmy Greaves scored 44 in 57.
What's Crouchy's record? Because this is ridiculous for England.
But, I mean, he did score like 5 goals against Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, but
that's not too bad actually. 22 goals in 42 games.
that's ridiculous. That's like a goal every game. He didn't do that for any Premier League side, did he?
Goal every other game.
That's what I mean. Sorry, he didn't do that with any Premier League team, did he?
His best
Maybe-
record probably Portsmouth, 18 goals in 37.
So that's
Which
still
is
not,
roughly about the same record.
yeah, it's not far off.
Adam knows all about Peter Crouch, didn't you, Adam? Signed him on Football Manager before.
Has he? Did he not do very well?
Yeah, he did really well.
Done nothing, no. Why did he
He
sign him?
panic bought him. Me and him did an online save. He was Burnley and I was Bournemouth, and he panic bought Peter Crouch.
Oh dear. Adam. Panicked by anybody but Peter Crouch, surely.
And then, funny enough, Peter Crouch then didn't score. He was laughing at me because I bought Di Natale,
Okay.
and I got him on a free, I think it was, or I got him really cheap. And Adam was laughing at me for buying him, and Di Natale scored me 10 goals that season, and Peter Crouch scored him nothing.
I think my controller's vibrating, so I think Scholes is finishing. Yeah, he is. I can actually.
Did you try and buy him? Did you?
No, mate, no. I can afford him, but I hadn't tried buying him.
Don't come up with that bullshit. You panic bought him and then realised you fucked up.
He filled a space. Burnley needed a spare target, man. Oh right.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I mean, you're as bad as all those teams that are nearly getting relegated that panic bought Peter Crouch as well.
Yeah, so that's our England best 11s.
I hope you like it.
Yeah,
Do you know what? I actually enjoyed doing that. It didn't take us very long. I'll agree with that, Jakey. But
I guess it took me about 10, 15 minutes. Obviously, the last few players I had to pick out were, some of the George Cohen and stuff like that. I was already because you said about it, and I was still on my way home, and so I literally spent most of my way home thinking about what players I'd have in there anyway. So
fair one. So when you actually got home, you were like, "Yeah, that's."
So
my
I just
team.
had to sort of type it up and then go, "Yeah, there we are."
Fair one, mate. But yeah, I think I really enjoyed doing it. If I'm honest. Right, next up, our very little gossip, because apparently all the gossip has come out today, which is fantastic.
Say shit at the fan today, didn't it?
Yeah, I'd literally just fucking finished all the scenes. Jakey finished work and sent me a load of screenshots. So I'm like, where the fuck's this all come from? So I still need to download that app that you said about. Actually, was it Foot Mob?
FOTMOB, FOTMOB.
Foot Mob. And I'm gonna download that, mate. Is that where you get it all from? Yeah.
That's where I've been getting it from today, because they literally, if there's like really good news,
Yeah, it seems pretty good.
It buzzes a notification through. So all 3 of those things that I sent you buzzed a notification through to me.
And the thing is, mate,
is
that yeah, well, they're good readings as well. You know, those 3 that came through are, you know, I was interested in all 3 of those that you put across to me. Obviously, this is we were clutching at straws, really. We've put this one in, which is just taking the piss out of Arsenal, which I completely agree with this, if I'm honest. So, Jakey sent me this. When did you send me this, Jakey? Was it yesterday?
I don't know, but I did have a good laugh when I sent it. And
Yeah.
you told me to fuck off.
I was literally like, "Oh, fuck off, Jakey." That's literally how I wrote the message. I was like, "Oh, fuck off." But he's not wrong. So this is what he sent me. Friendly reminder that Chelsea signed the Fikayo. What is his first name? Fikayo?
Fikayo Tomori?
Fikayo? Okay. Well, Tomori, Zuma, Azpilicueta, James. Who is Reece James?
He's the guy who played left back against Palace last weekend and pocketed Zaha for 9 minutes.
Is he any good?
He looked really good in that game.
Yeah. I've got to be honest. I didn't see it, so I was that was the only name I was like, who's that? Emerson, N'Golo Kante, Mount, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Callum Hudson-Odoi, and Tammy Abraham for less than what Arsenal paid for Pepe. And I've got to be honest with you, that makes me really sad. Makes me really sad. Not because Pepe's not playing, but because we bought Pepe, and I got to be honest, we needed a centre half. How many centre halves are there? I mean, Kurt Zuma, I've got to be honest, out of all those names, he's one there that I'm like, okay, I'm not really that bothered about Kurt Zuma. But Azpilicueta can play centre half. N'Golo Kante can probably play centre half. In fact, N'Golo Kante, I'd fucking have in my team. Just put him up top.
I was going to say, N'Golo Kante can play anywhere on the pissing pitch.
Yeah, put him anywhere. Tammy Abraham at the moment. I mean, all right, over Pepe, probably not, because Tammy Abraham is definitely a through-the-middle type of striker, isn't he? But Hudson-Odoi, mate. The thing is, though, right, mate, is we've got youngsters at Arsenal that I personally think are playing better than Nicolas Pepe. We've got Bukayo Saka. Right now, mate, I would even say, why did we bother selling fucking Iwobi? We may as well just kept Iwobi, put him out on the right, and spent the 70-odd million on a centre half. Because at least we know what to expect.
We might have been able to get Maguire.
Well, this is it. But and this is what
He did spend 30 million on a centre back though.
Yeah, but he's fucking out on loan, isn't he?
He shipped him back out on loan.
Yeah, I'll fuck off back to St Etienne. Cheers for signing, Saliba. Off you go, son. He's doing alright back out there, but that's not the point. He was doing alright anyway.
He's going to break his leg or something in his last game for St Etienne, and he's
don't.
not going to get for another season.
Yeah, another 3 seasons. We'll have to send him back on now on loan just so he gets his fitness up. Their new left back is looking like a good player for now and the future. Yeah, look, Tierney is, but do you know what makes me laugh with Tierney at the moment? Right? Is
no, he was on about James.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Just about to say there goes.
I'll help you out.
There's some good CB there that Arsenal can do with. Well, yeah, I mean, I'd rather N'Golo Kante play centre half at the moment than David Luiz.
Walking mistake.
Well, the thing is, mate, is we needed somebody, and that's one of Ads' panic buys there, isn't it? So if Adam was managing Arsenal, he probably would have signed David Luiz as well, and panic bought David Luiz. Look, we needed a centre half. I don't know why earlier in the transfer market we didn't go for Cahill. I said it all along, didn't I, last season when the window was open? I said, don't understand why we're not going for Cahill. He's free. He's not going to be any worse than what we had at the time, and he would have filled the void of Koscielny for now. Don't understand why we didn't go for Cahill. I mean, Cahill was always a better player. Well, anyway, I heard Torquay have some good centre backs that could do better than Luiz. Oh, this is it. So I don't understand why we didn't go for Cahill. All right, we got this young lad Saliba who does look really good. Who the fuck's that?
Should Google it.
Well, we went for that Unchampachum, didn't we? Didn't get him because he was too much money. Yet we went and spent 78.
Oh, Upamecano.
Yeah.
You just said Chomper Chomper. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, Unchampachum. What happened to
Well,
Holding? Well, Holding got injured, mate. And since he's come
only just
back,
coming back, isn't he?
yeah, he's only just coming back. Since he's come back so far, he hasn't been great, but he is only just coming back. And to be fair, when he first started coming through into the Arsenal team, he wasn't great. He got injured, unfortunately, at a time where he was performing better than he ever had been for Arsenal, which is a shame. But it seems like the injury, unfortunately, is set him back to where he was. That's not to say that he won't become as good as he was again. It's just right now, he's not our answer either. 78 million on Pepe, man. Makes me sad inside, you know that. He had one good season in France, and we paid 78 million for him. Out of all the players that we could have bought for 78 million, we went for him. Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm sure he'll be brilliant in years to come. You know, once he settles down and whatever else, I'm sure he'll be great.
The thing is, you got to remember, let's face it, the amount of players that don't play too well in their first season. And you got to say, he is actually putting in. It's not like when Di Maria come over, thought he was all this, and then turned out he couldn't be asked to play.
Mm.
You know, at least Pepe's just trying. He's just not been very good.
Yeah, no, he hasn't been.
Let's
very
face
good.
it,
It's not
Suarez
like he
didn't
is.
hit the ground running first season.
He'll be all right, mate. And I mean, the struggle for me at the moment is I don't see a 78 million rated player. That's the hardest bit for me at the moment.
When you see some of the chances he's had and not put away, you're thinking, what the fuck are you doing? They paid 78 million.
And that's my biggest problem right now. I don't see a 78 million rated player. It's just the way it is. You know, we'll see how it goes. Arsenal are no better with Emery at the moment. I know that much. But hey, yeah, wondered why I hadn't seen him for a while. Before his injury, he looked quite decent. Yeah, he did. He looked very good, mate. And to be fair, he was probably, him and Socrates together as a partnership was very, very good. Got injured, and then he done his knee, mate, or something, and had to have an operation on it. Yeah, it was against United, mate. He had an operation on it, and he's been out since, mate. He's literally...
The FA Cup game, wasn't it?
It was, mate, yeah. He's literally only just come back. Maybe 3 games ago that he was declared fit. So he's only actually started, I think, the game against Palace and the game against Leicester. So he's still got a way to go before he's like back up to match fitness and actually like playing regularly again. Hopefully he'll be as good as what he was before he got the injury, because he was our rock, mate, which I never thought I'd say about Holding, but he was our rock. But he's made a few dodgy mistakes already. But then we've played a 4-4-2 while he's been on, and a 3-5-2. I just don't understand where we're going. But yeah.
I wanted to also say this, I thought it'd be quite interesting as well. So since Granit Xhaka was booed off against Palace, were you 2-1 up when you got booed off?
I think it was 2-2 at the time, right?
Was it 2-2?
Didn't he cost us the goal?
I can't remember. But since that, you've drawn 5-0 with Liverpool in the League Cup and lost on penalties. Drawn 1-0 with Wolves, drawn 1-0 with Victoria, and lost 2-0 to Leicester.
Are you trying to tell me that Xhaka's the reason why Arsenal aren't doing so well at the moment? I'll tell you what.
I'm trying to tell you that you've got those results without Xhaka.
I'll tell you what. We've also got those results with Virtual playing. I'm just
That's
putting...
was supposed to be the difference maker, wasn't it? A lot of people were saying, why aren't you playing Herzl?
Fuck off, man. All we've done is we've taken out the fire. All we've done is taken out the fire and put the fuel in. We're just waiting for it to ignite again. I mean, it won't be long, mate, and everyone will blame Herzl because Xhaka's not there.
I mean, you can't blame Xhaka for the last 4 games.
No, we can't.
So, and the picture on the right, I think, I mean, no one's heard about this news. We had to dig this one out of,
Out of the
dig down deep.
archives.
No, I haven't heard about this one at all this week.
It's all I've
And
heard. It's all I've heard.
what the thing is, from what I've heard, it's literally like a 2 second. Sterling went up and squared up and grabbed his throat, from what I heard, and then they just broke him apart, and then they've all apologized and said,
Exactly, flawless. I do not get it either, mate. I think I'm the only Arsenal fan that's like, why are we bringing Özil back? What is that going to achieve?
You sure she's gonna make it?
yeah. So the news was that basically Sterling's not going to be selected for the game against Montenegro, but let's face it, I don't exactly think we need. And for a
what's actually happened here?
So from what I mean, I didn't see the match, but from what
I saw the match, but I didn't see the last 10 minutes, 20 minutes.
There was a problem between Gomez and Sterling in that game. I don't know if Gomez took him out or something. Let's see if I can find it.
I know that Sterling got pushed into the barrier at one point, but I don't think that was Gomez. I believe that was Arnold. So Arnold pushed him into the barrier, which Sterling wasn't too happy about.
All right, so apparently they were coming up 1v1, and Gomez was sort of holding him off. I don't know if a free kick was given or something, and then Gomez was protecting the ball so City couldn't take it quick enough, and then Sterling started pushing each other.
Really?
Obviously some words were said, and then obviously when they met up for England, they obviously hadn't settled. And had time to settle or speak to each other, so obviously that happened. But I think because from what I heard, Sterling was the aggressor in the situation. But I mean, it's all sorted now, and he's not being selected for Thursday, which I think is fine. Let's face it, we don't really need him against Montenegro. I might have to read my words if we lose, but
I think you're right, mate. I mean, if there's going to be any game that I wouldn't want Sterling selected
and for a senior player, who's been over, he's got over 50 caps. Give him a punishment, one game. You're not playing. You're not even going to be selected.
I think the hardest thing here is how can you? I mean, we don't know what's happened. That's the biggest problem here. How can you justify? I mean, Sterling must have done something pretty horrendous.
Well, they said Sterling was the aggressor in the situation, so I'm assuming Sterling squared up or something.
Oh, here we go. Sterling went into the canteen, and when he entered, I thought it was on the training ground.
No, it wasn't the training ground. It was
the hotel, was it? Sterling went into the canteen, and when he entered, Joe Gomez and others were laughing, which made Sterling step up to Gomez. Laughing at what? Sterling, because he's tiny.
I don't know. But, well, as I say, it's all water under the bridge, and, I think it's right for Sterling. From what I've heard, Sterling was the aggressor and not Gomez. Gomez didn't really do anything, which will explain why Sterling was the one that's not being selected.
It's fucking ridiculous, isn't it?
But,
it's a game of football. Does it really matter? Sterling, you're still getting paid ridiculous amounts of money.
I think it's because they met up literally under 24 hours after the game. So they didn't have enough time to settle or anything.
One thing I did hear about is people have said that Southgate should have give both of them a call and said, right, don't bring this ruckus into the England camp. But how could Gareth Southgate foresee that situation happening? I mean, that's absolutely ridiculous.
I feel like Southgate's done really well. He's dealt with it really well.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I agree with the punishment. I mean, it just depends on what he's done. If it's literally handbags, mate, then I don't really understand the punishment. However, if he's raised a fist and actually clouted the guy,
I don't think it's clouted him. I think from what I've seen, is he grabbed him by the throat.
All right, okay. Well, in that case, fair one. He should be fucking banned for a game because you don't do that to teammates, regardless of whether they're laughing.
He's not really banned for the game. He's just saying he's not going to select him. So you can take it as what you will, but.
Right, so he's not banned, he's just unselected.
Yeah, he's not being considered.
So I know he's still training, isn't he?
And I say, Henderson called both of them up afterwards, sorted it, and then they had a team meeting the next day, I believe, and both of them apologised to the team.
Oh, well, there
And
you go.
all the teams said that they think both of the apologies were heartfelt and whatnot, and no
Henson,
chance.
after this, went out of his way and sorted it out. What do you do? Grip them both then?
Like, he called them both up called them both up and told them to talk and sort it.
It's pathetic anyway, isn't it? Like, over him.
I think had they met up a day later, so say they met up on the Tuesday,
Probably would have forgotten about it.
it probably would have been, but because they met up under 24 hours after the Liverpool Man City game, I think it just didn't have enough time to simmer down afterwards.
City were completely outplayed in that game, so the frustrations are going to be high from Sterling anyway.
But
yeah.
Let's face it, City don't have the best record for when their players lose. Let's say, yeah. I mean, Aguero getting sent off for 2-footing someone when they were losing,
And Sterling, to be fair, in that game, mate, was just constantly booed from the Anfield fans. So
I don't get why Liverpool boo him. I know, obviously, he moved to Man City.
That's all it is, isn't it?
He didn't owe anything to Liverpool. Liverpool signed him anyway.
Wasn't he initially from Southampton?
No, he was from QPR.
QPR.
Liverpool signed him off of QPR.
So
But Liverpool fans seem to feel that I suppose they developed him. They got 50 million out of him, which was a really good price at the time. And Liverpool fans are saying, "Oh yeah, he wasn't worth that, so he done well." And then they go out and boo him every time. I really hope that one time he does score against them and shushes them. I would be fucking laughing if he does.
Mate. The thing is as well, mate, is Sterling's the type of guy that would.
I don't think he would. If it was Vardy, definitely, without question.
Vardy would definitely win. Vardy is a naughty man.
Sterling's not really much. He's more of a joker than a piss taker.
On fire at the moment as well, Vardy, isn't he?
I was disappointed he didn't celebrate in front of the Arsenal fans, But I think they must have been on the other side of the pitch when he scored.
I wouldn't have been surprised if he did. Naughty man. But yeah, okay, so alright, fair enough. Now knowing a little bit more, I suppose the unselection is fair, I suppose. I still don't get it though. Grown men, for fuck's sake, mate. It's a game of football.
Oh, hold on here.
Why don't they just call each other out? Why don't they ring each other up and say, "Oi, not bad, I want to fight you." Alright, and do what KSI and fucking this Paul fella's done. Get in the box with. What a shit fight that was as well, by the way. Watched the highlights for that earlier. What fucking highlights? Oh my god. What a crock of shit. Monkey fucking texted me all excited that his fucking love child had won, and I was like, alright. I mean, look, I've got nothing against KSI or the other fella. I don't even know who the other fella is, if I'm honest. But I'm nothing against KSI, but a pro-licensed boxing fight with some championship belt as an undercard for these two fighting? Give me a break.
I think what a lot of people don't realise is they're pro boxers, but they've both got under 2 years training.
They're not pro boxers. They got their pro license for that fight, mate.
Yeah.
I'd love them to get another fight now against two fucking boxers that have actually fucking boxed for years. That would make
people
me watch.
People seem to think that they've been boxing for years and they should be amazing, but in reality they've only been boxing 2 years.
Well, that's what I mean. I watched the highlights and I was like, wow, this is terrible. This would be like what I'd be like in a street fight. All guns blazing, fucking no control. Going for it. KSI, baby. Yeah, see, look. Excited little monkey. But fair play, Monkey's little idol, YouTube idol. Their YouTube fuck's sake, mate. And they became pro boxer for that fight and achieved huge numbers.
It was the highest selling UK pay-per-view.
I'm fully aware that they're YouTubers, bud. Yeah, I don't understand Monkey's comment. I'm pretty sure I said they were YouTubers, didn't I?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I did, didn't I? What's Monkey on about? Don't take it too seriously. They're not professional or serious fighters. Yeah, but my point is, mate, is you've got professional fighters that do it for a living on the undercard of that fight. That's my point.
I think
fair enough if they're not taking it too seriously in that, but why didn't they just put a fight on, mate, for these two, is my point. Why degrade these guys that have made boxing their living, yeah, and have them on an undercard when they're fighting for a WBO, WBA, whatever championship belt. Why have them like that? Must be so degrading for somebody that's put their life and soul into.
I mean, they accepted
boxing.
it.
Well, yeah, they accepted it, mate, but I can't imagine they'd be happy.
Well, I can't see. I think what it is you think of it, the main event is
You
the
know what
one
they
that
should have
sells the
done?
tickets, isn't it? So
Yeah,
all
but
the people that bought the fight were buying it for that, not the
yeah,
pro-
but they still would have had those viewings and those. They still would have sold that much. You know, if those two are the ones that bought in all the viewings, like you say, just get some more YouTubers that want to have a little scrap with each other on the undercard. I'm sure there's loads of people. I mean, that guy
they
with the
want it to be
Michael
a pro
Jackson
event.
glasses. Yeah, but yeah, that's fine. Give them all pro licenses. Call it the pro YouTuber fight. I couldn't give a shit what they call it. Make them all pro boxers for all I care. You know that guy with the tash who just literally gives shit to everybody? Wears fucking Michael Jackson glasses and wears a little red jacket. I don't know what his name is, mate. I can't remember what his name is. But he loves winding people up. Get him in there. Give him a pro fucking license. Get him in there. I'm sure there'll be loads of YouTubers who'd love to give that guy a kick in. Monkey probably knows what I'm on about.
I couldn't tell you what you're on about.
I don't know what his name is, mate.
I mean, we digressed as well.
I can't remember what his name is. He's got like his actual name, mate. Is you can tell that he's a bit of a bugger. Monkey probably knows what I'm on about. He's got a tash, Monkey. He's got a tash, and he generally wears glasses, and he's very angry. And when I say glasses, I mean like sunglasses, and wears like a Michael Jackson red jacket. I'm sure he wears a red jacket. I can't think what his name is. That's how much YouTubers I watch. Yeah, I know. I know. You know, but from YouTubers to pro boxers, and the reason they're main cards is because it's entertainment and the most popular, and bring a new audience to the sport. Yeah, I'm not disputing. I'm not disputing that. My thing behind it, mate, is putting a championship belt on the line on an undercard of like two YouTubers that I get where you're coming from, mate.
I think one of the fighters, it was his first ever fight in the US, the guy that was defending.
What, for the WBA or whatever
I don't know.
championship belt it
Billy
was?
Joe Saunders. It was his first ever fight in the US.
Was it?
So they were trying to break him into the US like lightly.
It was a shit fight, man. Anyway, moving swiftly on. I'm not really a massive boxing fan anyway, if I'm honest with you guys.
Oh,
I'm not getting upset because I'm a boxing fan, because I'm not. I am a UFC fan. Well, I'm not really a boxing fan. I mean, I gotta be honest with you. If they put bloody KSI and D Paul or whatever the fuck his name is as like the main card in a UFC fight, I gotta be honest, I'd fucking turn it off. After watching all the decent fights, I'd literally just be like, yeah, I'm not fucking interested in this, and turn it off. So there we go.
I think that's what people don't understand as well, is you can turn it off if you don't want to watch it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with it. I didn't watch it. I didn't pay for it, so you know, I'm not angry or mad. I just don't understand it. If you get me, Bo. But let's be honest, the KSI versus Logan fight was a lot more entertaining than Billy Joe. Who the fuck's Billy Joe?
It was the guy that was defending the belt.
Oh right, I didn't see it. Flaw. Like I say, mate, I'm not a boxing fan, mate. I'm not defending boxing or anything like that. I think that boxing is in my opinion, boxing. I'm gonna get a lot of hate from this if there's anyone that likes boxing that watches. In my opinion, mate, boxing is an absolute farce anyway, and that's not because of this fight. I'm not talking like disregard the KSI Logan. Did he call him? Right.
Logan.
Disregard the Logan KSI fight. What I absolutely despise about boxing that I find is incredible in UFC is the fact that fighters can literally dodge other fighters for near enough their whole career, mate. Walk around with a championship belt on their shoulder, and they don't have to fight, or they won't be put up, or they won't get the fight nailed down with, like, say, the number 2 or the number 3. They'll just literally fight. There are some fighters, mate, that would literally fight anybody. You know, like Ricky Hatton. He used to fight anyone. He didn't give a shit.
He didn't care as long as the money went in.
He didn't care, yeah. You know, like there's some that would, but there's also a lot, and this is what I despise. I mean, it's like the heavyweight division at the moment, mate. You got obviously Joshua, matey boy from the States, who I can't remember his name, and there's another one in there, Fury, and the States guy. I can't remember what the state Wilder.
Wilder.
So you got Fury, Wilder, and Joshua at the moment, and literally Fury and Wilder have fought each other. Joshua seems to be able to fucking dodge both of them. And then fought some cacky little Mexican fella who give him a pasting. You know, and it just baffles my head, mate. So what happens, let's say, when Joshua gets his title back? Is he going to fucking dodge Fury and Wilder again for ages and then get beat off of some cacky... That fight where...
From what I heard, though, Wilder was dodging Joshua.
Oh, mate, they dodge each other, don't they? But let's be fair. He could have fought Fury, because let's be honest, Fury's another one of those that he will fight anyone. He don't give a shit. He's happy. Yeah, Ruiz, that's the badger. The Mexican fella. Yeah. Whereas in the UFC, Jakey, I know you don't watch a lot of UFC either, but in the UFC, basically when you hit that, like when you get into the top 5, mate, pretty much you're guaranteed to fight the champion at some point. Or at least the number 2, or you know what I mean. Like, so they always give you like a chance to become the number 1 contender, and then generally you will fight the number 1 contender. The champ will fight them. The only time it doesn't is if they get injured. Obviously, that happens fairly frequently. But what they do is then they have an interim championship fight. So they basically have like an interim championship belt. So the guy who's injured, say the champ's injured, they'll have an interim belt where the number 1 contender fights number 2, and then whoever wins that becomes the interim champion. Then when the guy who is the champion comes back from injury, that fight happens. There's no dodging or anything like that. That fight happens. The interim champion fights champion. It's very simple, very easy, and very fair. Very rarely I don't think the camps have a choice of whether they can or can't fight them. Obviously, they probably have a choice of whether to take a fight within a certain amount of notice, but I'm pretty sure they can only refuse a fight, I think, twice or something like that, and then they have to take it, whatever the third option is. Otherwise, they get stripped, as far as I'm aware. So yeah, it's a lot. You see the top fighters fighting each other a lot more. Which in my opinion is far better. I just think the boxing scene's a farce. I don't mean that in any disrespect whatsoever. I just personally don't like it. I think a lot of it's on the promoters and what they want to do. Can't explain it all to you, mate, in a text. What?
Explain some bit more.
And especially since you're not too bothered. Are you still on about? Is he still on about KSI and Logan?
No idea.
I'm not entirely sure what you're on about, to be honest. Well, sorry, mate. I presume it's the KSI fight. I've got no problem with it. I ain't got a problem with the fight. Like, that's not the problem I've got here. What I don't get is, like, we've got a professional sport here that I believe is being overshadowed by 2 guys that aren't professional in that sport. You know, that would be like me and you, Jakey, making a football team and getting a default fucking entry into the Premier League and playing Man City in like 2 years' time. That's effectively what that is.
I think we would deserve that though.
Do you know what, Jakey? I think you've got a point. Maybe we should push it forward. If it's good enough for fucking the Paul and KSI, why not can we have Chewy Army?
They didn't really push themselves they didn't really push it like that, because they did have an amateur fight beforehand, and that
they did. Yeah, I know that much.
Fight of the year as well.
Yeah, no, I know that it obviously brings in a lot of money, and people wanted to see it. I'm not disputing the fight, mate. That's not what I'm disputing at all. I'm not disputing the fight. I'm not saying it shouldn't have happened or anything like that. Like, I completely agree with obviously the fact that, you know, people want to see that, and I get that, and that's fine. I'm just, if I was a professional in that sport, I'd be like, no, fuck that. I ain't fighting underneath these 2 fellas. I'm just saying from my point of view. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like why Joshua didn't fight any of the big fighters? Because Eddie Hearn wouldn't get it nailed on. There's so much dodging going on with it, Flawless. It's unreal. Not necessarily Joshua. But like, it just baffles my head, mate. Why they don't take? They can refuse fights and they can dodge fights. I'm not talking about just Joshua. I mean boxing in general. Um, I don't know. I struggle with it, mate. I struggle with it. I always have done, mate. It's not. This isn't something that's new with like the new current fighters. I mean in general. I've always watched a bit of boxing. Like I don't dislike it. I just dislike. What would you call it? Like the ranking system, I suppose, Jakey, would you call it?
I don't know.
I just don't like the ranking system and how fights are picked rather than have to happen. Because I don't think it's governed, obviously, but I think that the promoters are the ones that decide the fights, as far as I'm aware, and camps decide fights and stuff. As far
I think
as
there
I'm
is
aware.
mandatory challenges as well, but I don't.
I think that's only on re-fights though. Like obviously Joshua has a mandatory rematch
I thought
because he lost the
I
belt.
thought Ruiz was the mandatory challenger for one of Joshua's belts, which is why they ended up fighting.
Might be,
That was
mate.
for
If
together,
if
but
if
I
that
don't
is
know.
the case, well, it obviously doesn't happen very often, but
I think it's that they don't fight in a certain amount of time or something.
I'm not sure, mate. It's something I'd have to look into because as far as I'm aware, it wasn't a mandatory fight, that Ruiz one. But it might well have been, mate. I might be completely wrong.
I don't
Like I
know.
say, I don't
Cool.
follow it enough to worry about it. What did you say before? Are we going to cover any of the?
Oh, I was gonna say, are we gonna cover any of the other news that come in today?
Well, the only problem is I ain't got no images. But but yeah, we can do. Which one is it?
I think the main one that we need to cover is the German one.
The one where he
So
clotheslined.
there's a footballer called David Abraham that plays for Eintracht Frankfurt. He's been banned for playing for 7 weeks by the German Football Federation after deliberately barging, clotheslining, whatever the opposition manager.
That's brilliant. I still got to watch that actually.
Have you seen it?
No,
I'll
no,
get
yeah.
you a link quickly. Let me find it.
Ruiz was a shoe in, by the way. What does that mean? What does shoe in mean, monkey? Not entirely sure what that means, mate. I presume it's a term used.
Mom. What do you know about my mom?
My eyes are stinging.
You don't know anything about me or my. Anything about my parents. Barely know. Sometimes I feel like a stranger.
This is the one.
Yeah.
I'll send it quickly on Facebook.
I'm not here. I'm running lines with Trevor, helping Martin with him, taking fucking art class.
Oh,
Tell me, Helen. How have I failed?
He's been, the German player's been banned for 7 weeks for it.
Where have you been?
Hey, we were worried about you, but
trailer for Star Wars. Looks very good. Yep. Why
There
did he
should,
do that?
I know. There should be a slow down replay at about 50 seconds.
Yeah, I just having a look now.
He can't say he didn't do it. It wasn't quite a clothesline. I think I'd sort of over exaggerated that a bit, but I mean, getting yourself sent off for that is like, and now what was subsequently banned for 7 weeks.
And that's all. Do you know what that's because, mate? All because he didn't collect the ball, but he has no right to.
I mean, he was just sort of stood there. Wait, it's not even because he didn't collect the ball. The player just ran into him.
Well, I think what he done is he stepped left of the ball, didn't he? Like, like the ball got played out,
Well,
and it was close to him, and he stepped left. But the thing is, though, mate, is he's got no right.
stepped away from it.
Yeah, like what? So what? Abraham thinks that he's got every right to do it. Yeah, look, he kind of
He
just
swung.
leaves the
He swung
ball.
a punch at one of the guys that come out and started on him as well. He tried hitting him. When was this?
Oh yeah, I see it.
When he pushed him over, obviously they come over, and he swung a punch at one of the guys from the bench as well.
Yeah, I see it. Who's this? Freiburg and Frankfurt.
I don't know if they're a rival at all, but
Not as far as I'm aware. Oh, that is mental. Well, there you go. So yeah, he deserves to be gone. Chewy means that he wasn't the initial fighter to fight Joshua. That's what I thought.
he stood in for someone else, didn't he?
Yeah,
'Cause
that's what I thought.
the person he was supposed to be fighting
Had to pull out, didn't he?
out for injury. Now
Yeah.
you say that, I remember that now.
Yeah.
But I think the person he was due to fight was the mandatory. I don't know.
Might well have been the mandatory, to be fair.
Football.
Football.
And the other
Yeah,
ones,
football.
The other ones, they weren't really that big, were they? The Bernardo Silva has been suspended for one match.
Yeah, that's
And
again.
like £50,000 fine.
I think it's a little bit harsh, but I get it. Especially, I think at the moment
I understand why he was given the ban, but we said this on Facebook because I sent it and we discussed it, which is unusual. We usually ignore it and then discuss it on here. But I think we both decided that possibly the fine and an education. He has got an education course that the thing that I sent.
Oh, he has, yeah.
Shirt. Yeah, he didn't say it when I read it, but I think that must have been just as it was broke that I got sent that. So yeah, but I think a fine and the money going to like kick it out or something like that,
yeah.
instead of into FA's back pocket. I'm assuming that's. I would have petitioned for a larger fine, and it obviously going on a social media education or something like that.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem.
I think he
all
had
the
to have
racism.
a fine and whatnot, but
I think the
don't
problem
think
is all the racism that's around at the moment. I think
if you want
that's
to go
the
for
problem.
that fine was £15,000 less than what Bulgaria got.
Is that it?
Yeah. You could say that yes, he's probably got a bit more money than what Bulgaria does, but
still. Right, let's rattle through this quickly then, shall we?
I just want to
obviously-
point out what's going on here. 8
What?
points you beat me by.
Yeah, this is the first time
You
I
had a
beat
fucking
you.
storm. I think it's the first time someone's got 5 results correct in 1 week.
I
3 results, sorry.
3, yeah.
And all of them were 2-1 as well.
The thing is,
know,
as well, is
yeah.
this is probably the first time in about 6-7 weeks that I've actually beaten you.
Yeah, I know. This is like week 3 or week 4.
Yeah, so it needed to happen, Jakey.
I think I've beaten you every week from the first international break.
I'm pretty sure you have. Pretty sure you have.
And even then, I still got 1 right. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you know, I'm still a fucking shed load away from you, but I was like, oh, I was actually sat there like, wait a minute, I've got a few 5s. Surely I've beaten him this week.
I was looking like, oh yeah, I picked up quite a few points. You know, there's only 2 games I didn't pick up points from. And I'm thinking that's fine. I picked up 2 on the majority of them. Obviously, because this stream goes, I don't actually get sent a picture of yours. I only see it on the stream. I forget what yours are. I'm checking through. I'm like, oh, I've got a 5 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I'll win again easy. 15 points is usually a winning amount as well. Let's face it.
It is. So yeah, I was like, oh shit. When I was putting him in, I'm like, wait, I fucking smashed him here.
8 points.
Because I was expecting another loss, especially after the first couple. I was like, oh yeah, I've got 2 points there, he's got none. And then I was like, oh, I've got a 5, Jakey's got 2. And then I was like, oh shit, here we go. This is where Jakey brings it back. Yeah, so picked up a few more points, and yes, for us, Chewy did win this week. Picked up a few points, thank God. Do you know what? I find it really a real struggle to get motivated to actually talk about any of these results, knowing that there's no football this weekend. But I will try. Who should I pick out? Oh, let's go with the only game that I actually watched. Should we? Well, there's 2 games I watched this week: Leicester and Arsenal, and Liverpool and Man City. I've got to say, Arsenal-Leicester was a good game first half. Could have gone either way. Second half, Arsenal.
And Leicester come out and it was 0-0 at half time, wasn't it?
It was me, yeah. Second
Leicester
half
come out and
was
ruined them.
terrible for Arsenal, but I got to give credit where credit's due. I thought Leicester
Leicester
were
are on
fantastic.
fire. At the minute.
They were fantastic in that second half, mate. Like,
Just
by far, we couldn't get out of
Leicester's,
our half.
Leicester's lost 2 games this season. One of them to Liverpool with a dodgy 90th minute penalty,
Mm.
and the other one was to Man United.
Yeah, to be fair, mate, I actually thought that we might see them off as well, because when they won the league, we were the only team that beat them twice.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, it's by the by. Arsenal, we all know that Arsenal aren't in the best shape at the moment. Same with Man United, although Man United got another win this week. But the problem is it's up and down, wasn't it, with Man United?
They looked really good again, and they were creating chances. I did say, though, Brighton are a team that likes to come forward and show no team's mercy.
And you said if they do that, they might be in trouble.
Man United, I reckon Man United will win. And well, it wasn't live, so I didn't watch it. So I've only watched the highlights today. And Man United scored some good goals, actually, and they could have had for 4th.
Wasn't it all...
Rashford missed a sitter.
Oh, did he? Didn't all 3 of your front men score as well in that game? Is that right?
No.
No, that was the Europa League game, wasn't it?
It was Pereira scored the first one, McTominay the second, and Rashford scored the third. I'm not going to say the goals were, they were scrappy ones, but it was Pereira should have scored his. It was deflected in. McTominay beat the goalkeeper to the ball for the second one. And what was Rashford? Rashford was pretty good, I think. And he missed a sitter, but
I didn't watch the Wolves Villa game, but 2-1 to Wolves, obviously being a derby, I thought that was worth a mention. And I got 5 points. And Liverpool Man City, I actually watched this game, mate, and I got to say, although it was 3-1, City had a lot of chances, and there was a couple of controversial decisions that potentially could have gone another way.
There's one controversial decision that I have seen.
Is it the literally one it was still 0-0?
The one where it was still 0-0 and Liverpool went and sort of scored from it. Yeah. So it's a really weird one, but the referee could have easily pulled it back for a free kick to Liverpool.
And that's the tricky thing about it, isn't it?
So if you go by the rules, it should so the ball hit Man City player's hand, which meant that Liverpool had the advantage then because they got the ball, so the referee should have played advantage. But then it hit the Liverpool player's hand, which means that the City should have had a free kick. But because Liverpool had the advantage, Liverpool should have had a free kick. So you could have said that the referee should have blown back for a free kick.
Yeah.
But obviously Liverpool went on to score, and actually I can't complain because let's face it, it hit the City player's hand first.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, it's one of those controversial ones, but
I think in the letter of the law, Liverpool should have been brought back for a Liverpool free kick. But
I think all in all, Liverpool were the better team. Man City did have chances, but I think that Liverpool were a lot more dominant.
I will say this now. If Liverpool don't win the league this season, then let's face it, they're never going to win the league.
Mate, if they don't win this year, then they don't ever deserve to win it, because this now, they're 9 points clear.
I
think they're 8 points.
8 points clear of City, 9 points of Leicester and Chelsea.
I was going to say it's Leicester, isn't it?
And then 9 points in front of Man City.
So if they don't win now, then I think that there's serious questions to be asked. Because
that's interesting. Man United now scored the same amount of goals as Arsenal.
Scored?
Yeah.
But they haven't conceded as many as Arsenal.
Nope.
That's because you boys went and bought Maguire, and we decided to buy Saliba and send him back to St Etienne.
Not hurting it with that at all.
Oh, mate, disgusting. But don't worry, we got Pepe.
That's fine. Yeah, it's like
it is, mate,
that season when it was. There's a lot about it saying, "Oh, it was a 2-horse race between Tottenham and Leicester for that season. Leicester won it." But let's face it, Arsenal were in that race and bottled out that race way beforehand.
Way before, mate. I mean, we had so many chances to go.
I said to you during that season, I said, if you guys don't win the league this season, then you've sort of bottled your best chance of winning it. Because let's face it, Man United was shite, Chelsea was shite, City was shite, Liverpool was shite.
Leicester, like I say, we beat Leicester twice.
I mean, Leicester, and there was the only 2 losses Leicester had that season. No, we lost 3 times, I think.
We kept losing or drawing to teams that we shouldn't have been doing. So in the end, we didn't deserve it anyway, and like you say, we bottled out of it a lot sooner, a lot earlier.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things. I think that we discussed Liverpool win the league like back a while now, and I still stand by it. I think that it's definitely theirs, unless something seriously horrendous happens to Liverpool. I can't see anybody getting anywhere near them. I still think that they will drop points at some point because I don't think they've been amazing. They were very good against City, don't get me wrong, but I think there is games where they've been very fortunate not to drop points, like the Leicester game, Sheffield United game. So yeah, like they've been very fortunate, but credit where credit's due, they're still undefeated. As long as they don't go 49 games unbeaten, I'm happy. Right, that leads us to our predictions for this week, which is very small.
6 games on the predictions. It must be internationals.
It must be the international week. Okay, so England versus Montenegro, Jakey.
Montenegro weren't very good when we played them. We beat them 5-1, and let's face it, they only scored because our defence didn't bother in the first 10 minutes. But
we're really good at doing that in the first 10 minutes, though, to be fair.
Yeah. 3-0.
Which is why I've gone 3-1, because we seem to concede quite often at the moment. Kosovo versus England.
It was a goal fest at Southampton.
Was 5-3?
Kosovo didn't show any fear whatsoever, and I think they won't again here, but I think we'll just edge them.
I got to be honest with you, I'm with you on that, mate. I think Kosovo will come at us, which is why I've gone for 2-1. I don't think it'll be a goal fest. I do think that England will just about do it. But these boys, I mean, considering they're an unknown, they're probably one of the better unknown teams I've seen play England.
To say that unknown is a bit unfair. I think what it is they've got a really good team, but because it's a smaller country, you obviously don't hear too much on it.
Well,
I think they've got all really good players.
Which is what I mean. I mean, to let's be fair. Like, if you go to anyone, who do you think like a real decent underdog team at the moment? No one's going to say.
In
Kosovo.
fairness, I did predict England to win 5-0 when we played them the first time because I just thought, yeah, they're just a small nation.
And there is my point,
Gibraltar. But then I saw their players when we played them. I'm like, oh shit, they've actually got some good players.
They have, to be fair, mate, and they played very well against us in the first game. Cyprus versus Scotland.
Because the stream's a bit behind, I just saw your face you pulled when you said, and there we have it, Jakey. Cyprus against Scotland. Scotland should win it. Should being the the word here, but yeah, 2-0.
I've gone 2-1 to Scotland. Scotland versus Kazakhstan.
I think Kazakhstan, they're playing without fear, like I said, with Kosovo, but let's face it, they're not the best. And I think they were lucky to beat Scotland the first time. I think Scotland were just shite. But they should win it.
Kosovo, they knew well, so probably are actually ads. I've gone for a 3-1 win to Kazakhstan because they beat Scotland 3-0 at their end. That's why I've gone with it.
Yeah.
I think that they still. Well, we'll see. Azerbaijan versus Wales.
I think Wales are going to be pushing as hard as they can because I think they can still qualify. I think they've got to win their last 2 games, especially against Hungary. But I've gone with a 1-0.
And I've gone for a draw. I think Wales are done, mate. I don't think they're going to have it. I think they're gone. Wales versus Hungary.
And then I think, again, the same reason as them beating Azerbaijan. I think they're going to fight until they can't anymore.
I do think they'll beat Wales. Hungary. The only reason I've got a draw against Azerbaijan is away from home. Azerbaijan's a hostile place to go, so that's the only reason why I've got that as a 1-1. But I think they'll beat Hungary.
Say with Adam saying Scotland are crap and all their best players are ringing sick. That is true.
Yeah, I know, mate. Yeah, I heard that on the radio. Tyranny's obviously not. It's been
Arsenal told them to call him up.
Yeah, so that's different. But like.
Robertson's their captain and hasn't played at all in any of their internationals, I don't think.
McTominay.
I think McTominay's filled up. McTominay is played. I think he's still playing.
He's not in this. He's not.
I did make the predictions before I realised that half the team had said they're not going to play or are injured.
Yeah, they're always injured. Do you know what made me laugh as well? Apparently, the Scottish coach or manager or whatever has turned around and gone, "Yeah, they are actually injured."
Yeah, sure they are.
Yeah. Well, that's obviously a
sign. Oh yeah, McTominay is actually out because I forgot about that.
was gonna say,
he got
he's out.
he picked up an injury. He picked up an injury against Brighton.
Robertson is needed for Scotland. Hey, every player that Scotland has
Robertson
got is
isn't needed for Scotland if they got Tierney, but obviously Tierney's out.
Yeah, I think that this whole I'm injured nonsense is quite bad, to be fair. Right, well, we shall see. That is a wrap for tonight, guys. We are over and done. Obviously, as you can tell, we're really ecstatic about International Week. But back to usual next week, Jakey.
As usual, it's the Premier League.
With some Premier League. Obviously, we will have the prediction results for these games, but we'll be a little bit more excited for the Premier League. And it ain't going to be long, and we're going to be getting into transfer rumours again.
Yeah. I think before, I don't know, what game are we on?
Yeah, Ryan Fraser is Scottish flawless, but guess what? He's also injured.
I think when we get to game 19, I don't know when that falls for the Premier League. I think we should do our both of us pick our team of the season so far.
On the 19th?
Because the 19th game is the halfway stage.
Oh, okay, yeah, I don't know when that is.
But I don't know when that's going to fall. So if that's falling in January, we might not be able to. I don't know, maybe do it before the end of December or something.
When's what are we on at the moment? How many have they played?
12. That's just matches.
Should be before Christmas, or it's going to be around the
2,
Christmas period.
That's a 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So the 19th game is Boxing Day.
I was going to say, because it'll be around the Christmas period, so we'll be able to do it before January. It's just where we're going to fit the show in.
Yeah, well, it's
obviously, I presume you're off work and I'm going to be off work, so it may be that, you know.
Well, I don't
imagine
we will do the show on the 25th of December.
I don't think that'll happen, Jakey. No. But I'm thinking that
we'll find.
We might be able to find somewhere, even if it's like through the middle of the day. We might be able to fit it in to at least get it out there, so it's continuing within like a weekly theme, if you like.
Yeah. I'm off between the 23rd and the 6th, so.
I believe I'm roughly the same. I think I might be going back a little bit earlier, but I'm sure we'll be able to get. We'll have a lot to cover probably because obviously there's so many games over the Christmas period. But we'll work that out, Jakey.
We'll find some way of doing it. But yeah, well, as I say, at some point we'll have to arrange it, coming a bit closer to the time.
Yeah, we won't worry about it till then because that's how we do things here.
But let's face it, our first show we come up with the idea to do. Well, obviously we've done it beforehand, but we're like, yeah, we're going to do it this time, one day before we actually streamed it.
That's true. It's true. While playing golf.
Yeah.
Nice for those not working retail. Think I'm working every day apart from Christmas Day. Yeah, I do feel for you, ads. I have done it, mind you. When's your Arsenal game, Chew? Which Arsenal game? Have I missed something? When's your... Oh! Sorry, mate. He's on about when am I going to watch Arsenal, I think. That's on the 15th of December against Man City. Can't wait for that. Go on, Jake.
Yeah, there's like a bit of dust or something that was floating around right in my line.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's the 15th, flawless, that is, of December. Obviously. Oh, no. It's 15th coming up. Yeah, 15th of December, that is, mate. It's on a Sunday. So, I could give you some live Instagram updates.
Arsenal get pasted.
Yeah, I can't wait. Very excited. See some goals that game. Probably in the wrong end. But yeah, I think it'll be a good game anyway. I've watched Arsenal versus City before, believe it or not. It was the first game that I went to watch at the Emirates, and when City were on fire as well, we drew them 1-1. So you never know, we might get a result. Doubt it, but we might. I mean, we lost to Sheffield United for fuck's sake. God knows what City are going to do to us.
I mean, you say that Sheffield United have won how many games this season?
Probably more than Arsenal.
4. They've won the same amount of Arsenal actually.
There you go.
You got exactly the same record, just Sheffield United got a better goal difference.
We still only lost 3.
You've lost less than Man United, but you're on the say you're only 1 point in front. So
we've drawn a lot. We've only lost 3. It's just weird that we've lost.
You've lost the same amount of Man City. It's just where you've drawn 5 times, Man City have won 8.
Yeah, the draws, mate, have really cost us. And do you know a lot of those games as well, mate? We've been actually like scored first or been in the lead. That's the real worry.
Against Man United.
apart from Man United. But that's the real worrying thing, mate. Is like that tells me that there's obviously still very, very, very big problems. The fact that we're leading games. I mean, like the Watford game, mate, leading 2-0.
To be fair, Man
3-2.
United led quite a few and ended up drawing. So,
which is the consistency of Man United and Arsenal at the moment is so similar. It's unbelievable. So similar. Right. Anyway, that's enough for tonight. And we will see you here next week. Bye bye for now, guys.